there are several things that the police do not want you to know. I want you to know these things. Knowledge is power. My name's John Guidry, by the way. I'm a defense attorney, been doing this for over 30 years. Let's dive into what they don't want you to know. The first one's pretty obvious, folks. They don't want you to know that they are allowed to deceive you, and they don't want you to know that they are allowed to lie to you. There are various techniques involved here. One's called the Reed technique. They've got a bunch of different names and labels for the techniques that they use. Some officers are extremely talented at these techniques. They don't even know how good they are or how well it's labeled, but I've seen it on body cam and it's pretty impressive. You don't want to fall prey to that. Just understand that they can say, you know, your wife told us XYZ, you know, your neighbor told us XYZ, and we have some DNA, we have some video. No, you don't. You're allowed to lie. Please keep that in mind. They do not want you to know that they can deceive you, but they can. The second thing they don't want you to know, because they want to keep you around, right, is that you are free to leave if you're not being detained. They don't want you to know that because they need to make an arrest, they need to investigate, and the longer that they can interact with you, the more likely it is that they're going to get something that they can pull in. My recommendation is, of course, just keep in mind that you are allowed to ask them, am I free to leave? I've got some things to do. Am I free to go? Am I being detained? Because that is going to be a nice little cutoff for you. You can be polite, you can be kind about it, you don't have to be a jerk. That may stop your little interaction. They don't want you to know that you might be free to leave. They really want to hide that fact, okay? The third thing that they don't want you to know is that they need probable cause to arrest you. Why don't they want you to know that? It's really not that fact that they don't want you to know, but they are interacting with you so that they can possibly get to the point of arresting you. And how are they going to get there? Folks, in my 30 plus years of doing this, you guys are opening your mouth and you keep talking, you keep answering questions, and that's what gives them the probable cause. When you look at the Innocence Project and all these people have been set free after the DNA doesn't match and somebody else confesses and all this other stuff, you find all those false confessions are part of that interaction where the police are just really talented at getting people to say stuff. You don't want to fall prey to that. They don't want you to know that they need probable cause to arrest you, and they don't want you to know that they're going to keep you talking until they can get you there. Don't fall for that, okay? Finally, they don't want you to know that you have a right to remain silent. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, John, they didn't read me my Miranda rights, and I know that my Miranda rights tell me that I have the right to remain silent, and that's when I can tell them I want to remain silent. No, Miranda rights are a whole different thing. I don't even want you to think about that. Your right to remain silent is forever at any time. You can just use it at any time. Do not think that it has to be a custodial interrogation, which is the trigger words for Miranda warnings. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to be in custody. You don't have to be anything to simply say, I would like to remain silent and I don't want to say anything. Those are the four things that the cops don't want you to know. They really don't want you to know that you can remain silent at any time. They kind of want to just keep it friendly. And I want you guys out there and gals out there, really, everybody, make sure that you don't fall for their little trap questions. They have lots of really good gimmicks, kind of get you talking, and they use awkward silence to get you talking. They ask you questions about your day, where you're coming from, how much have you had to drink. All these things are traps I don't want you to fall into. And if you just know those four things that the cops don't want you to know, God forbid you have to come see somebody. Actually, I think you'll avoid having to come see somebody like me as a result of that little bit of knowledge. So I do appreciate you watching. I handle Central Florida. If you have a problem, you know, I'm here to solve it. Give our office a call. Let's see if we can help you out. Otherwise, you can help us out with a little like, with a little heart, with a little follow, with a little subscribe. Whatever the buttons are, I thank you in advance and appreciate you watching.